So we have the welcome, the warm up, and then the workout. This is where we're going to have a speaker. This is where we're going to have one of the students share their testimony. This is if you have a smaller group or you're willing to break up into smaller groups, you can do discovery Bible study and get into groups of 6 or less. And this is also where a pastor can come and give someone the next steps of how do we read the Bible? Why do we go to church? What's your identity? Some basic themes that go through. So you got a big speaker. Let's go reach as many. Could be our workout. It could be going deeper and one of our kids sharing their testimony. Incredibly impactful. And we have a testimony prep training that we can take any of you guys through and give to you to lead the kids with. And or having a local pastor, especially one of the kids pastors. When one of the kids pastors come, everyone lights up. And we want the pastors to consistently come so kids feel more confident and comfortable with those faces in the community. At the end of the workout, thank the speaker, and pops up is the wrap-up team. So wrap up, share a takeaway, and ask for next steps. They could remind people to respond. They could give people something. They could say, you tell them the next huddle date and how they can help share the word, and then remind people of the vision of why we're doing what we're doing, and follow us on social media. Our next huddle will be here next Thursday. So this is an ideal basic of a huddle, and you can start moving it around before school, during lunch, or after. Any questions from this just overall layout? Because I'm going to build on top of it now in people's roles and how you can do a good leader meeting to accomplish this. Anything unclear? Cool. I hope you see how you can make it better, because you can totally do it better than this. It's just trying to keep it simple and smart. All right, I'm moving forward. So an ideal leadership meeting. So this is the main thing that we're missing. This is what the kids are missing. This is what you're missing. This is your kuleana. This is really your role, is that we want to get those kids some time to think about what they want to do. So in every time we get together, we want to have a quick devo from the captain, or they can delegate it to someone. So that way, if a principal walks in during your leadership meeting, they see the kids leading the kids and you're just advising. That's helpful in public schools. But you can be more involved, but I do caution you to stay away from the devo moment. Working as a team. I've noticed this has been good to break up in 2 teams. Team 1 has the captain and the warm-up, workout, and wrap-up people. So this is kind of got this could have more people in it. What's going to be the focus of the huddle? And you can just use this as a fill in the blank. I can make this probably look better. Kat can probably make this look great. But who's going to be your guest speaker? Or is it a student? Or is it a next steps by a pastor? And the warm up, what's going to be our competition? 3 to 5 minutes, just kind of reminding them. Some kids will do a warm up and it takes 20 minutes and then the huddle's over. So trying to remind them of that. And then the wrap up, what is the next step to take? So if this team can work out these components and how they work together, because they kind of flow together, huge win. So that's team 1. Team 2, this is your welcome crew and communication. So communications are the people who are going to be getting the word out. So determine the layout of the room. What's going to be the entry or the welcome door? Where's the food line going to be? And where do you want the speaker to stand? Where the speaker stands. What's the food? And who will pick it up? Pretty basic. You know what we need to put in there? Supplies. Plates. Yeah, we'll do plates. And yeah, who's got that? We might just get a pile at the church, at the school. Communications. How will we communicate this in the next huddle? Is it going to make an image on Canva, group chats? We're going to go throw it up on the intercom. Because if you're a group at the school, your group can put stuff up on the intercom. And then who will create the post or text to send out? And a really good thing is having each of the kids send to their friends. So someone creating some sort of image with the face of the speaker. And then who are going to be your door welcomers and who's going to serve food. So that's team 1, team 2. There's not a lot of time. I put it as 12 minutes, but communication is a big part. And what we're really teaching them here, and what you're teaching them, is you can go out of town if they figure this out. They learn how to have a meeting and move something forward without you. And I want you guys to be able to, across the semester, teach them how to host a meeting. How important is that going to be for their life? And people hate group work in college because they don't know how to have a good meeting. So what a big deal. This is what the schools want. This is why we have student-run clubs in many places. But they share the plan. So each of them getting better and better at giving details and sharing where they need help. And this is where you can really step in as an advisor in helping these guys get confident on their responsibilities and helping each other. And in the future, you can delegate this to your captain, because they need to learn how to lead. I've met so many pastors, their first leadership and ministry moment was leading an FCA. So you guys are raising up that generation. Take it with some weight. Here's a good way to help them. And then setting next steps. Each person shares their next step, and one person captures it and sends it out in a text to the group. So I think your captain would be the best at this, but you can do it to model it first if your captain's younger or is just overwhelmed by other things. So you can kind of start seeing where the captain fits in is just overall leading the team. And then you can have leadership roles around the warm-up, the workout, and the wrap-up, and the welcome. So you've got some good flexibility for leadership teams. And then here's next steps. Here's the things the welcome team could be doing. Here's the next for the warm-up, workout, wrap-up, and communication. So I have this document. Let me see how easily I can put this into the file, but I've got all y'all's phone numbers, so I'll just text it over. All right, this is the basics, and we're about to build off of this. This 30-minute huddle leads us to how to do this ideal leadership meeting, which leads to you having freedom and our staff being able to go launch more of these in more places. That's what we're trying to do. Is there any piece of this that doesn't fit or you see missing? All right. Would you guys like this leadership meeting put into like a PDF that you can just print off 20 of them at the start of the year and just keep them in a folder? Cool. All right. Great. I'll take that as a to-do. Sweet. Let me show you guys how we can take this to the next level. This is where I wanted to focus in on for you and just giving some clarity. So as an advisor, here's your basics of what you do. You are their lifeline to FCA staff and support and coaching. So we want every huddle to be led by staff. Many of you guys, I don't know if you knew, I did FCA since I was in 7th grade. It really changed my life. And then it was in my high school. It was at Clemson. We had the largest FCA in the nation with over 1,000 students. And then 2 weeks before I graduated, I felt called to ministry and was heading out to California to start a beach volleyball ministry in Huntington Beach. 2 weeks before I left, someone introduced me to the FCA staff person, and that was the first staff person I met after doing that for since 97 to 11 years. 11 years of being a part of it, and it was all led by just common guys like us. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So if your role is consistent, I think the kids will find you're kind of the continuity from year after year. And here are the top 4 roles for an advisor. Number 1, you could quit right here, is just having those leadership meetings. Number 2 is continuity from 1 year to the next by vision, making sure the next leaders are there, and then communicating with the team. And I'll show you this core 4 team in a second. And number 3 is communicate underlying issues and opportunities to bring to the students and like the parents or the pastors. So If you notice something, I want you to not be a fix-it person. I want you to try empowering the kids. Could be a quick phone call, could be a, hey, Captain, come here, let's chat about this, some way to empower them. And then coordinate between school policies and student leaders. Here's another example of the leader meeting, just shortened. And here is a yearly flow that I think can help our teams be consistent. So let's pick it up where we're at right now. January, February. It's a great time to find our leaders for the next year. So that way in August, you're not scrambling, and all summer, you're not wondering. And handpicking definitely means handpicking. It doesn't mean in front of the huddle, hey, we're looking for leaders, because you will find some people you don't want to find. Fill out the application, and it's hard to get rid of people that are a really bad fit. Bad character, not going to church, not going to a Christian church. It's painful, and it creates a lot of turmoil. So letting people handpick leaders, we have that right that we're able to choose our leaders and volunteers. We have a Christian community statement, which it holds up in a court of law that allows us to hand select which leaders we want. So we're open and inclusive to everyone, but leadership wise, we hold the right to choose our leaders that are aligned with a Christian community standard. And I can get that to you guys. In March and April, we let those handpicked students begin to assist and start helping the current leadership team. So they start coming to leadership meetings. Imagine all they're going to pick up as they have that. And then in May, we can begin to promote summer camps. Oh, and I forgot to put in here, we got to do this in June. We got to send our leaders off. We'll put it in May. Send off seniors. So if there's any seniors we need to bless or deal with, let's leave that there. So that leads us to the summer. There's FCA clinics and chances for them to learn and serve. And you could build your Huddle team and do an experience or something like that. Happy to help out with that. In August and September, you prep and have your first Huddle. And then October, November, you really focus on getting kids to church. And then here we are back in January, find next leaders. So hopefully we're always raising up leaders. We're always getting kids in church. And that's all we're doing. All right. We're not going to go into this. I'm going to go to discussion time, but let me give you guys a sneak peek of this next piece here. This is what me and the team have been working on, trying to give more clarity of how we can do the most sustainable team. And we try to take our key roles of the student leaders, the advisors, the church, and the parents, and then grid it out and kind of give an analysis of here's a good leader, here's a better, here's the best. This has been really helpful for us as a team. So just a quick overview. Student captain communicates with a team and they're willing to go first. That's a pretty good captain. If they can do those things, we got to win. If an advisor hosts a consistent leader meeting, killing it. And then we have a list of churches we partner with and maybe some of them coming. And then parents are providing some money and bringing food. That is a really good first year. That's a huge win. So, Karina, you guys, like, if we can get this, man, this is going to be amazing in the next few months. That's really good. But as we get in the summer, now we can start focusing on, let's just take it, parents doing a prayer walk. Pastors are getting ready to share at the Huddle. We got some pastors lined up. We're communicating the issues we see, and we're doing it in an empowering way and launching the kids as a leader, as advisors. And then the students are starting to seek the Lord's heart and lead the team and starting to hold the team accountable. That would be a really good next level year. And then here's a level of best. Our captain's calling up future leaders. Our advisors overseeing the pipeline of next leaders up, starting to feel confident about this next man up mentality. And then churches, pastors are making personal invites with kids, that are new to the huddle and new to accepting Jesus. And then the parents are communicating weekly updates and prayer requests and have a prayer team, giving more money to be able to have more food because more kids are coming. And that spreads out the responsibility. So this is a core four. These are our four people in the core four, and this is helping us. But how does this feel? Just thinking about I think most of you guys are, Wes, you're kind of in the better stage, but Asher, Karina, this aspect of good, this makes sense and feel pretty attainable with the Lord's help. Great. All right. Well, this document continues to break down into the student roles, and that's probably where it's going to get crappier, but it's a pretty good document. So I'll attach that, and any of you guys watching this video, send me a text and I'll send it over to you. All right. So we'll stop the share. Looking forward, our kids need to know that you believe in them. Our kids need to know that you're going to be there and be consistent. And that's going to be a huge leg up. That's really going to set them up. I think right now in the stage that we're at, there's kids that need to hear what you see in them. And we call this a call up moment. So I just leave this with you guys. You will see potential in them, especially as a coach and as an educator. You'll see potential in them that they don't see. You think it's obvious to them, but they don't know it. And we've all had those experiences. We probably all remember the teacher that spoke that way to us, that said, "You're smart." That happened in 5th grade, Miss Parker. And she said, "You're smart." And that's when I went from the medium level class to the high level class the next year. It's just one teacher needed to say, "You're smart." So if you can say to a kid, "I think you can do this, and here's a position for you," you're gonna really, you really accomplished something big. Okay. So I'd love for us to break out in groups of 3 and pray for our students. And then, we'll do that for like 5-10 minutes. So each of us would just pray, and you can be praying for your students, anyone else's students. Let's just pray for the youth. And, we can run for some next steps after that. Actually, let me do next steps beforehand, just in case we get cut off. So we'll be done after this. You guys can pray and then exit out, okay, after you're done praying. But the next step is, it's either to get the students together and I come in with one of the staff and model a huddle and take you through our core 4 launch. And we try getting a youth pastor, you, and the students in a room. So that's one. And if we already have huddle meetings, the next step would be, let's get a parent meeting. We call it a parent dessert, and doing that in the evening. And we'll work with a couple of the churches. We'll find a church or a home to do it. We'll probably do it on a Sunday afternoon or evening. And we'll do a quick vision moment and how the parents can be involved in prayer and financially. And when parents get in, they do bring the next leaders, next funds, the next volunteers, more connection to other speakers. Like, they really unlock and expand our reach. So, those are our 2 next steps. So we need to do that. And I would love to bring lunch to any of y'all's school and come and do that. All right. Any questions out there before we break out and pray?
If I could get a recording, that'd be great.
Yep, gotcha. I'll get you a recording and the documents. All right. If you haven't, there's that link in the notes, and then I'll shoot out some text with the documents. And in the future, I'm sure there'll be some snazzy place we can put those documents for you guys to download or tell other people about. So we'll go for that. All right, let's do this. Let's break out. All right. right, here we go. 2 rooms. Ready, set, go. Hope you guys have a good night, and thanks so much for being a part of this. And yeah, let's pray for this next generation. Let's go for it. Randall, you there?